Hey there, Dion Johnson here, board level leadership consultant, author of this book, Influential Woman. You know how I always say, if you haven't got your copy yet, go get yourself a copy. I'm a speaker and the creator of the Power Path. And today it's the 20th of October 2022, a very significant day here in the UK, a day that I'm calling a real sad day for UK politics. We've just seen Liz Truss, our third Prime Minister in 4 months, to step down, to resign from office after just 44 days in the role. So, you know what? I'm not making this video and talking about this because I'm extremely political. I'm not. I really am, I think it'd be fair to say that I'm apolitical. And I really don't understand by any stretch of the imagination the political system. But I have watched the news over the last actually couple of weeks, and I've witnessed what I'm interpreting as real savagery. I've seen the savagery of the political pact organizing itself around Liz Truss and around her leadership, ready to tear her to pieces and to get her out of her office. And it's really this display of organized, coordinated aggression that's prompting me to record this message. You see, I want to talk to the women in my network who hear me harping on day after day about the importance of us taking up our positions of power, using our voice, speaking up and shaking things up in our positions of power. And it's you that I want to speak to today. I want to speak to those women who are consciously or unconsciously looking at this situation with Liz Truss and thinking to yourself, no way do I want to go for that high office. No way do I want to go for that promotion. No way do I want to climb up into those ranks of high level savagery. That I don't want to be part of that. And I know it's a real thing because women have said that to me over and over again over the years. People have said to me that it's just not for them. That kind of dog eat dog, high level, place it's just much more than life's much worth much more than just to put yourself in line for that, like put yourself on the firing line for that toxicity, that heaviness, that savagery. Right? So if you're thinking no way do I want to do that, then I really want to share with you my take on this whole Liz Truss thing. I want to share the lessons that I'm gleaning as I look on as an outsider, really looking in. I want to show you how I'm making sense of this, in the hope that it inspires you somehow, that it doesn't knock you off of your aspiration. It doesn't take away your ambition and desire to climb and be in the positions where your voice can be heard. So the first thing that I want to say about this is that I really do believe in what I call womanity, womankind, womanhood. I really, really do believe with my whole heart that repowered, healthy womanity can change our world. I really believe that repowered, healthy, whole women can really shift things through their positioning in high level marketplace leadership. I believe this with my whole heart. And I believe that what the world needs now more than ever before is the healed, healthy, repowered voice of women who have got healed hearts and clear heads and a carefully well put together point of view, that they are fearlessly willing to contribute to some of our most high level governance conversations. And so saying that, I want to say that secondly, and probably importantly, that there is a real big difference in my thinking between being in a role, having the job, and having the capacity to really occupy that role powerfully and influentially. I think there's a real difference that we need to talk about. I think there's a real difference that we need to acknowledge, that it's not this having the job, being in the job, holding that office is not the same as having the capacity to carry that role out powerfully and influentially. There is a huge difference, and I know that in the gender equity movement, we want to get more and more women into these positions of power. But I say, and please hear me when I say that I do understand the importance of representation. I really do understand that representation is important. Recently, it's October now, right? Black History Month here in the UK. And I've been doing this series where I just had this whim to do this series where I would honour the people that have really impacted my life, the leaders that have really shaped who I am today as a Black woman leader. And one of the things that I really realised as I thought back over the years to my earliest mentors and my earliest leadership examples and exemplars was just this power that comes with representation. It's so good when people see themselves represented in these high levels of leadership. So I'm not knocking representation at all. I just really don't believe that representation alone is enough. I say that when it comes to making a real difference in the nation, in the organization, in the industry, in the field, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman unless a woman has done the work, is doing the work to increase her capacity to influence and truly lead. We must be doing the work. It's not enough to just be able to, we're smart, we're driven, so we will get those roles. But when we're there, we need more than just our savvy to keep us there. We need to do the work, especially when it's hard. And I have to be honest with you, we've really got some work to do in this case. We've really got some growing and evolving to do if we're going to really make it and hack it in these hostile, often toxic, often environments of systemic resistance. Now, I don't know if Liz Truss made mistakes. There's talk about 45 pence rule. There's talk about U-turns and U-turns within U-turns. I'm guessing that she's probably made some mistakes. But the thing about this is, like, who hasn't made mistakes? I don't understand the ins and outs, but what I heard somebody say today was that Liz Truss wasn't really running the government, but that the benches were running her. Her people were running her. Her double-mindedness for me was really painful to watch, and painful not just because it was not good to look at, but because I really identify. I know what it is to be double-minded in leadership. And on a daily basis, I sit with women who allow me behind their masks and allow me to get a front row view to their own double-mindedness, their own conflict that's happening behind those masks that we sometimes wear. And what it looks like behind there is that on one hand, we really know how bright we are. We know how powerful we are. We really want to make a difference. We're really willing to do the thing to make the change. We want to do a good job. But on the other hand of this double-sidedness of us, we're struggling to really believe that we have what it takes to do the job. We're petrified of the power struggles. We're feeling unqualified, and we talk ourselves out of our worthiness to be in that role. And we really do buy into the accusations and the assertions of the naysayers. Right? It's this double-mindedness that I see really does threaten our capacity and our stability in these high-level roles that we are pressing towards. And this double-mindedness can really sabotage our efforts to truly occupy these challenging positions, even when we have the best intentions to initiate and innovate and influence really meaningful and important change. And this is true, especially when there's resistance or there's toxicity or there is pushback to our ideas and our insights and our vision and our mission. when I think about this, I just know that we have to do the work. We've got to do the work to really strengthen our inner game. We've got to respond to the environment differently. We've got to repower our innate womanly capacity to bring forth and deliver what it is that we're carrying on the inside, our ideas and our insights, despite the resistance. And we've got to find a way to stand in our power and to help those who are leading in that broken system to see that there is another way to be. We don't have to be dog eat dog, savages with each other. So did Liz Truss make mistakes? Yeah, I'm guessing that she made mistakes, but we all make mistakes. And so, what she didn't have, what I see the problem with Liz Truss making these mistakes was that she just didn't have the backing. She didn't have the public backing. She didn't have the media's backing, and she certainly didn't have political backing. Like it was her colleagues, her political colleagues, that were really rallying around to wait, chomping at the bits to bite her out of that place. And the press really didn't really embrace her, and the British public really didn't know her. And I think this is a really powerful lesson for us all who are aspiring to be more influential, to be more powerful in those positions of power, those high level, board level positions that we hold, is that we really need to secure for ourselves support, supreme support. We need to secure for ourselves the backing, the real relationships that are essential if we're going to make it, especially when things get rough, when the brown stuff hits the fan, or when things are hostile and challenging and difficult. And I think, too, what this is really speaking to is the need for us to understand that it takes time to build up that brand, to build up that reputation of credibility, and to help people to understand what it is that we think, and that what it is that we want to see, and what it is that we want, that we envision for our organization, for our industry, for our field. That this is not a surprise when we get into office. This is not a surprise when we begin to stand up. That we begin to show people who we are, and we take the time to do that before the brown stuff hits the fan. So I think this is also about putting the time in. I think this is also about, taking the time to build up your reputation publicly and powerfully. So that's it. This is what I'm taking from the whole Liz Truss thing, that it's essential that we do the work to heal on the inside, to do the inner work, to be resilient and to be strong, to be enduring, and to have the capacity to stand the heat of high level leadership. And then we develop genuine connections and allies and friends that will help us to navigate these difficult times. And thirdly, that we put the time into establishing our distinct voice and establishing ourselves as the high level, credible leaders that we really want to be seen, heard, and taken seriously as, right? So that's it. That's what I'm thinking. That's my thinking about Liz Truss. I'd love to know how this is landing for you, what you're thinking as you look on. Did you even know? Are you watching this? What are you thinking? And my biggest message for you in this video is a request that you don't use this as an example to thwart your ambitions, to be a voice in your industry, to be an initiator of important, meaningful change in your realm, in your professional domain, in your organization, your industry, and your field. I'm really asking that you just don't let this put you off. I know it's scary. We've seen, I'm scared for Liz Truss, but I think it's also scary to not live fulfilled, not live fully expressed, not make the difference that you really have the capacity to make. And so I'm urging you to not let this put you off. Send me a message, let me know what you think of this. Love to hear your thoughts, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.